Welcome, travelers. If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your friend in the Code Director, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition system, and the setting is based on the fan-made world Agents of Oblivion, the perfect cocktail of horror and espionage by Reality Blurs. Our players are agents in a Black Ops organization called Oblivion, where they encounter everything from terrorists to cultists to ancient eldists. Without further ado, please enjoy this special one-shot, Agents of Oblivion, the Parable of the Risen. Case file 0519-AO-24. File not found. Can I please have everyone make a spirit roll for me?
We're starting off strong. That's
Excellent.
A 1 and a 2.
Good boy. You are welcome.
I was just a little bit better than you. I got a 2 and a 3.
I have a 7 total. I got a 6 on mine.
5.
Okay, I heard a 7 from 13, a 5 from Mycroft. Are you guys leaving your rolls as is? The 2 and the 3?
I'm gonna use a Benny. We're
Okay.
gonna see if we can get this a little better.
Okay. And it's a full reroll.
Yeah, that's a 2 and a 3 this time.
I'm going to take that as a sign and I'm going to leave mine.
3 and a 3. Okay. You wake up in a very cramped space and with an agonizing headache. It's dark, with only a little bit of light coming through some evenly spaced slits behind you. A terrible ringing jars your brain, but over a minute or so, it steadily fades to the back of your mind. Through your grogginess, you realize there are other things that have you feeling out of sorts. The first is that you can't remember how you came to be in these very tight quarters. The second is that apart from this horrible headache, you're very uncomfortable. ESP and E. It doesn't take long to realize that your additional discomfort is from the blood rushing to your head as you are hanging upside down. You find yourselves tied to chairs you're sitting in on the ceiling of this small space. Directly below, you see a long white shelf attached to the wall with various bottles and small containers. The artificial dessert scent is almost overpowering and makes your head feel worse. Past the shelf, there are 2 white box-shaped machines with dials on the top and a windowed door on their front. One machine is rocking and its door is ajar and spilling out soapy water that is already pooling quite a bit. The other machine is still, and a yellow light shines from within it. 13 and Mycroft.
This is the Saw episode.
Guess.
That's what it seems like to me.
How'd you guess? 13 and Mycroft.
Time to play a game.
You recognize your additional discomfort coming from the restraining ropes that hold you to your chairs in front of the spewing machine. The water is icy cold and it's already pooled up to your neck. It's only getting higher. What would you like to do?
So we're in water right now, Mycroft and 13?
Correct. You are tied to these chairs. The water has pooled all the way up to your necks.
And I try and wiggle my hand out of what it's tied to? Or are we tied like, so our hands are tied or like it's around our chest?
It's around you entirely, around your shoulders, around your arms, at your legs. But you can give me an athletics roll if you want to try to wiggle yourself free.
Okay, well, I got a 2 and I got a 1.
Ooh. Do you want to spend a Benny and try again?
No, because I only get 2 of them.
That's fair. You might get an opportunity for more as you can feel the water is getting higher and up towards your chin. Mycroft, what are you doing?
What can I see from my position?
Looking about. First, give me another spirit roll. See if you can calm yourself or keep yourself calm, depending. We'll see how you are reacting to this.
That is another 5.
You are kind of able to not just jump and freak out as you are bound and this water is getting much higher. You can see directly in front of you, you are facing these 2 machines. One of the doors being open, the water sloshing out, just pouring. You can see the suds all around in the water, all across the top. You can see the shelf a little bit higher above it. You can see the bottles on there. The room is very small. It's only basically just big enough to hold this washing machine and this dryer you can see. And behind you, you can see are 2 of these 2 white doors. The light coming through is coming from the slots in those doors, and yet the water is not going through those holes. It just seems to keep rising higher. Maybe it's coming in too quickly to pour out or something else, but it is getting higher. And when you look up, you can see hair kind of falling forward over them. You can see E and ESP overhead, just in the same position as you, but upside down.
Good heavens. So the doors are right behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Then. Like, we're against the doors? Like, if I move my head back, do I hit the door?
If you tip your head back, you're going to touch the door, yes.
What kind of handle is on the door?
It looks like a round handle.
The worst kind.
Mm-hmm. While you're figuring that out, ESP and E, what are you guys doing? Both of you give me a vigor check at a -1.
Oh, I'm better at that than Spirit. Okay.
And you said the water is right up to our chins at this point?
It's rising up towards your chin. Just about to hit it.
Rolled a 5.
Okay.
5.
Excellent. The blood, you know that pounding as the blood is rushing to your head and sitting there. You're feeling a little faint, but you're able to keep yourself conscious. You're not sure how long you've been upside down like that, but longer than you ought to be. What are you 2 doing?
Well, I have a question. Does E have her headphones on?
Yes, she does.
Okay, so I'm guessing she can't hear anything if anybody starts talking.
It'd be
I
difficult.
can't
but
move them to.
somehow they're staying on even though you are upside down. They may
This
not
is a
stay
good
that
brand.
way, but yeah,
Do
they
you have
are.
music playing currently?
Yeah, I mean, if her headphones are on, then music is playing. Unless her
you still
phone
have
was
your phone.
confiscated and is too far away.
Out of
No,
Bluetooth
music is
range.
playing.
Does she have her book bag on?
Yeah, how much of our equipment do we have on right now?
You're not sure yet because you
Okay.
are trying not to drown. I will say yes. Your book bag is on. It is your back and then the bag and then the chair still tied fairly tight. If you want to try and move, you will need an athletics roll.
I
Unless
was
you want to
gonna
do
say
something else.
she's gonna try to wiggle her arms around to see if she can get into her bag because she's got a little toolkit of some sort in there that would have something that could hopefully help her cut the ropes. So
Give me an athletics check.
2.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to use a Benny?
Yeah, I'll use a Benny.
Okay.
That's a 4.
That's
Hey.
a success. You are able to wiggle your arm free and get to the zipper of your bag. You're trying to pull something out of there.
Mm-hmm. She has a little toolkit of stuff in there with screwdrivers and a pocket knife and stuff. So she's gonna try to get that out and cut the ropes.
Excellent. While you're doing that, ESP, what are you doing?
ESP is muttering words that Catherine won't mutter for stream. A lot of fiddlesticks and gee, this is not good. She's going to try to wiggle her way out of these ropes. She also would like to know if her pocket snake is still in her pocket.
Give me an athletics check first.
Are the 2 of them directly above the 2 of us?
Yes.
We're using a Benny to reroll those.
Who is where? Who's above who?
Let's say on the ground, left side in front of the washing machine is 13. Right side in front of the dryer is Mycroft. Directly above 13 is Claire, is ESP. Directly above Mycroft is E.
How far does the drop look?
Not very, especially with added your height to it, less than 10 feet.
Okay.
But the water is now at your chin,
So
13.
yeah, so he's going to cast Environmental Protection on himself in Minecraft.
You need your hands free, or you can just...
No, it doesn't say
Excellent.
anything about hands.
Perfect. You have to make that channeling roll?
Yeah. Well, that's not good. It's a critical fail.
How does that
Oh,
backfire
no.
as a power?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't
Okay, I didn't know
say
if it
anything
said so
about
directly on the
backfires.
power. Powers do backfire. Okay, you have 1 level of fatigue.
What does that do?
Subtract 1 from all trait rolls.
How do I get rid of it?
Fatigue, you get rid of, improve 1 level per hour. Unless you have some sort of power that will...
Can I use a Benny
heal
to
ya
fix
up.
it?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I'll benefy that away.
Okay?
So fatigue is 0.
But the power points were still spent.
Yeah, I spent 3. So can you try it again before it covers them?
No, because you are, as you're attempting to cast it, though, as the water is rising, and you know that you are in big trouble because you, sir, have difficulty with water, if I recall. So there is an amount of panic that you'll have to wait, try to calm down before you can cast again, I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, this is his coping mechanism to this water, is casting this. So
Is casting.
Yes, that's why I learned it.
Give me another spirit roll. My coping mechanism is magic.
Okay, I got a 4.
Okay, that's a success.
So
Yeah,
I can
you
try it
cast again.
Oh,
Mhm.
My goodness. Come on. Okay, I got a 4. So we are protected from drowning. We don't need to worry about the breathing.
You are protected from having to breathe in water.
It says allows targets to breathe, speak, and move in normal pace in otherwise fatal environments.
Excellent. Look at you two. Protected. I love it. So now the boys are just chilling. What are the girls doing?
It lasts for an hour, so we had to figure this out by
got
then.
a 5.
5 on her athletics.
ESP got a 5 on her athletics check to try and wiggle out.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to start to kind of wiggle yourself free, reach for your pocket, and little snaky boy has not fallen out of your pocket. Somehow.
Yay, Peter's safe.
Peter is safe.
It's her emotional
You-
support snake.
Mhm. So both ESP and E are free enough that you could kind of start to take some time to wiggle yourselves totally free. Is that what you plan to do, or?
Yeah, E's trying to planning to try on wiggling herself the rest of the way out, or at least try to like loosen the ropes on her or cut them. She's trying to keep her feet like hooked in the chair so she doesn't just like fall if she does get loose enough.
Okay.
As soon as Claire's loose enough, she's gonna drop down and try and untie and try and help get the boys out of the ropes.
Okay, first ladies, give me one
Collapse
more vigor
onto
check.
13.
What was that?
One more vigor roll, please.
Just a cannonball right into it.
Yep.
5.
That's a 7.
Nice. Yeah, you are, despite still being upside down, you're kind of able to start to maneuver yourself so you can start or stop the blood from just rushing to your head and making you dizzy. You can get your bearings enough that when you do free yourself, it is not a far drop, that you could either touch down onto the washing machine that's moving about. E, you'd be able to drop if you wanted to directly onto the dryer that is not moving, or you guys could touch down into the water if you wanted to. But you're watching as the water is rising and is now sitting at Mycroft and 13's noses.
E's gonna try to land on the dryer, but she's just going to lose her grip and fall directly into the water, soaking her.
You can have a Benny back for your clumsiness. Yeah, E is in the water. It's very clean smelling water anyway. It's a little bit oily with the detergent, but
She'll stand up immediately and go over to Mycroft, who I think was the closest to her, and start trying to get him out of the ropes.
Our mouths are covered now, right?
yeah, it's up at your nose.
That's disappointing. He has a survival knife, but he can't tell you when that.
I love that.
Not that she'd be able to hear it anyways.
It's true. When now you can at least move it.
You guys are fantastic.
And these headphones are waterproof.
And they're waterproof. Only the best for her. Go ahead, give me a fighting roll.
Can I try another athletics to wiggle our hand free?
Let's see how she does.
A 2?
Yeah. It's dark. It's dim in this room. The only light coming through is from those slits in the door, which now you can see are like the two, closet-looking doors that are leading into this small laundry closet. But as you're trying to get under the water to get to it, it's too hard to see to get to the ropes. 13 and Mycroft, yes, you guys can make another athletics to try and wiggle yourself fully free.
If E can't get to the ropes, then she'll try to go to the door and open it.
Okay, I got a 3 that time.
Getting better.
I think that was how much you got last time.
The only thing I've rolled today.
5. You are able to start wiggling yourself free, and if you wanted to help 13, you could. E, when you push on the door, it is stuck. It is locked.
She would, since she's already got her toolkit out, she's going to try and pick the lock.
Give me a thievery.
Okay, so she doesn't have thievery.
Okay, so it's a d4 minus 2.
That's a 6.
Hey.
And then
minus 2, but it's still a 4.
2.
You start picking at this lock in this closet that is swiftly filling with water. You jimmy at it, and then you hear a little click.
She'll open the door and yell to the others that she got the door open.
The water
Excellent.
started draining out?
It does, but first,
What's on the other side of the door?
Feeling?
Yeah, I was wondering, is ESP still up there?
no, I think she dropped down. She was gonna
dropped down.
She was gonna help
Try to help the
Mycroft
boys
wiggle
out.
himself free. E, you've introduced us to our dramatic task. While all this has been going on and you've had this pounding, splitting headache, you guys are going to be attempting to relieve yourselves of this headache. A dramatic task is something that must be accomplished. Generally, the urgency is rather high, and there is a certain amount of time you have to do it. You collect a number of task tokens in that amount of time. If you're successful, great. And if you're not, then you fail the task. You as a group need to collect 20 task tokens, and you will have 4 opportunities to withstand the pain of this aching head pain. And these rolls can be affected by discoveries about the source of the pain. So I need you all to please make me a spirit roll, but I need E and ESP to please make it at a -1.
Okay, I got a 4. Wait, so like our characters are looking for the sources of the headache, but like the game, like the TTRPG element is these tokens. Like we didn't just open the door and we're
Correct.
just like, oh, we gotta
Like,
go
oh,
find tokens. I'm picturing like Mario
Turned
just
into
going
Mario.
around.
No, the game mechanic
Okay.
is correct.
We got a
So
little
with-
quest marker that popped up.
You will get 1 token.
A
yes.
random bubble with text just in. Bloop.
You will get
Ah.
1 token for each success. You will get an additional token if you get a raise.
So I rolled a 3 on both die.
I got double 1s, so double 0s.
Starting strong, guys. Okay, Mycroft?
5.
Okay, that's 1. 13?
He got 4.
2 of 20. That was your first opportunity. You have 3 left. So,
Can someone
that was
untie me?
unexpected.
He's still tied to the chair.
You're still tied up?
I have a knife.
Here. I'll get you. Will help 13 get out of his ropes.
You can either do athletics to try and pull him off, or you can, if you have a knife, you can try and cut him off.
She'll get
What are
his
the
knife
bottles
out.
on the shelf?
Yeah, he has like a concealed knife out, like down on his like ankle thing, like down. So you could just grab that.
So give me a fighting roll then, ESP.
Haha, that's a 4. That's a success.
Yeah, and you're able to snap.
You didn't stab me.
Thank you for not stabbing him. You're able to snap those ropes and get 13 free. Mycroft, you were asking about something?
The bottles on the shelf that you described?
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
So those bottles up on the shelf, you see it's like cleaning detergent. You see fabric softener. Give me a notice roll.
He's gonna start checking through her book
That-
bag to see if anything got ruined by the water.
23.
Jeez.
So here are my notes.
That's his skill. That's what he's good at. Noticing.
I had a good feeling about Mycroft for this session. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty heady one. Yeah. So you spot, you're looking about. The door is now open behind you, but you turn back to this little laundry closet and you start looking about. The bottles up top, like I said, were like detergent and fabric softener and an air freshener with this little orange label that's letting off that really sickly sweet scent. The detergent, you can see it has like a really bold sticker on it that reads, "Tough on the toughest stains, gets out dirt, oil, grease, blood, you name it." A very like perky, chipper bottle with its sign on its label. You also notice that through the closed door of the dryer, there are clothing items inside of it. The door is a little bit warm still. It's only cool because the water that had just sloshed all around you was very cold, but the dryer looks like it's, or feels like it's warm. There's clothing inside of it. The other three, did you guys go through the door, or are you guys still in essentially getting your bearings still in this little closet?
13 would leave the room, I think.
Once E's done looking through her book bag, she would follow him out.
There is sticking pipe here.
Before we go into the next room, real quick, Mycroft, was there anything else you wanted to look at in the laundry closet?
He's gonna open the dryer and see what's inside.
You open the door, this kind of burst of warm, almost comfortable air comes out, all linen, fresh scents, except it's still slightly artificial, and so it just makes your head still hurt. You find a small-sized hospital gown, kind of look like it might be child-sized. You see a hoodie in there, a dark hoodie. It has these cartoon pumpkins on it, and there's something bunched up in the front pocket of it. And then you find these 4 other items in there. One of them, at least to you, looks familiar. Mycroft, what is a favorite item in your wardrobe at home?
His suspenders.
How interesting that you find this dashing pair of suspenders in this dryer.
Are they mine?
It sure looks like yours. And on top of that, if someone did wash them, they didn't do a terribly good job because there are still spots on it. There's still spots along the belts, or what do you call it, of it? The straps of it. These dark spots. They kind of look a bit faded, as if the wash tried to get them out, but didn't succeed. And you see a few other items in there, one of which I feel like you might potentially recognize. Claire, what is a favorite item that you have in your wardrobe at home?
Her trench coat. And
Her trench coat?
all of her scarves, yeah.
You find this lovely, slightly fancier than casual trench coat also inside of this dryer. Very small sized for a petite woman that you immediately recognize. It also has some staining on it that looks like it tried to be washed out, wasn't successful.
He will take his suspenders and just like throw them over one shoulder, and then take the coat and toss it to Claire.
Wait, so what are we wearing right now? We're wearing our normal clothes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you realize like on you, yeah, you've got all of your regular gear on. You look prepared to go on some assignment. Your stuff's in your back, your weapons are on hand.
What are the other 2 items?
I'm not sure. 13, what's a favorite item you have in your wardrobe at home?
I don't really think that he has much of a difference between the wardrobe that he wears at home and the wardrobe that he just wears. I guess
Socks.
the only... Maybe he has... I don't know, maybe pajamas? We can go with that.
Sure.
Long Victorian nightgown.
Some long johns. Some real cozy long johns.
It's a onesie, no.
With dinosaurs on it.
Yeah. But
No.
also this odd stain, these stains on it that looked like they were trying to get washed away but wasn't fully successful. E, what's a favorite item? Maybe a hoodie, a favorite hoodie you have?
Yeah, one of her dark blue or black hoodies that she wears pretty frequently.
Mm-hmm. It's on that kind of navy blue hoodie. You can see those spots on it as well.
Did either of you lose a hoodie or pajamas or a hospital gown? Actually, this looks like it'd fit you, Claire.
That's not mine. I'm not that small. Gosh.
What do you mean by missing?
He just holds them up.
I mean, they look like they could be mine, but as far as I know, I'm not missing them.
Well, that's my trench coat and his
Well-
suspenders, so it might as well be yours.
Sure.
They're yours now. And he just tosses the pajamas.
Add pajamas to
Use,
inventory.
There's nothing particularly like that stand out being specifically his, so he's just like the pajamas. Sure.
If you look at the tag on it, there's a
Initial?
little initial stitched in that
His initial is pajamas.
this one has your initials on it with a little heart and then a lovely lady's initials as well that you recognize. And you're quite certain that they're yours.
All right.
No judgment. E, did you lose a hoodie? We got two of them here. One with pumpkins on them, and the other's not. Also, he wants to look in the pocket of the pumpkin one.
E doesn't hear you. She's just like looking around the room.
He asks like 2 more times before he remembers.
He's gonna tap her on the shoulder.
Huh?
He's gonna point over towards Mycroft.
You will look over
Are
at
either of
Mycroft.
these hoodies yours?
She'll run over and grab the one that looks like hers and like, oh yeah, I've got a couple of hoodies like this at home. Yeah, this looks like it's mine.
What's in the pumpkin pocket?
In the pumpkin pocket, you pull out this rolled up, a little bit crunched piece of paper. And when you unravel it, you see a very childlike drawing on it. It vaguely looks like a map, potentially. And you see the only writing on it, you see one bit of writing that says Carbondale, Carbondale. And then in parentheses next to it, you see the words Penny Island. You can give me either an academics roll or a common knowledge roll if you want to try and decipher this map. A common knowledge -1 if you're trying to decipher it from this childish drawing.
2.
You're not, if it is meant to be a map, this is not your part of the country and you're not familiar with what it might be pointing to. You do, however, spot on this map, on the bottom of the page, you see these 2 stickers on there. One of them says, "Get whale soon," and it's a picture of a whale that's smiling, this cartoon whale. And the other one says, "Hope you peel better," in the shape of a banana, a cartoon banana with a stethoscope.
What you looking at there, Mycroft?
This hoodie seemed to have a paper stuffed in the pocket. Actually, first, is the paper, has it clearly been like washed and dried? Or is
No.
it fresh?
This is a fresh piece of paper.
It's fresh. There's a piece of paper with some kind of child's drawing. I'm not entirely sure what to make of this. And he'll pass it to her.
So she's gonna look at it and try to decipher it as best she can.
You can also give me a common knowledge roll -1, 13.
Mm-hmm.
As the paper is being passed, you can easily spot these very bright stickers. You can give me, please, a common knowledge roll, no penalty.
5.
Those are your stickers. That's your design. You made those stickers, and you remember, a memory strikes you. You remember giving those stickers to someone. It was your form of a sympathetic gesture as you offered these stickers to someone.
Do I remember why?
Not without a raise. You just remember it's sympathetic.
I got an 11.
You kind of figure out this map is like a map of the US. Where it's circled would be around Illinois. So you assume this is the city of Carbondale in Illinois. You have if I recall correctly, you're looking at your character sheet, a defining interest in conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure exactly why it stands out, but Penny Island, it rattles some memory for you as well. Like you've been on the dark web and the blogs and looking at stuff, and it pings for you that's something to pay attention to. Not entirely sure why.
I feel like this Penny Island situation sounds familiar, but I'm honestly not really sure why. But that point on the little map is Carbondale, Illinois. Do you think that's where we are?
Maybe, but what if we left this little closet, looked around?
Might as well.
So as you guys turn around and now are looking outwards from the closet, it actually was kind of nice looking inside of the dim closet, because when you turn around on the light that's now pouring in, you are looking in a painfully bright rectangular room, and it certainly does not help your headache. All of the furniture is the same light gray as the carpet, the ceiling tiles, the walls. There's a TV on the far end of the room with some show that's playing. There's a static crackling quietly from this distance. There is an office desk set up along one of the side walls with a computer operating on it. And it sits opposite a short staircase on the other of these long walls going upwards. You're immediately hit with the smell of bleach and scented cleaning product. And the only thing that isn't pristine is this pile of clothing on the floor at the foot of the stairs.
You know E's going straight to that computer.
So the clothes that we got from that dryer, they're all dry?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 13's going to go back into that closet, and he's going to put on the pajamas because they're more dry than his current clothes. But he's going to keep his armored suit on. So, like, the top part of it will have the armored suit, and then it's pajama pants. And he's going to put his clothes into his backpack. He's not going to walk around.
Please take a Benny for that.
Soaking wet clothes the entire time.
I'm wearing my fresh, warm out of the dryer pajamas for this mission.
I mean, doesn't seem like it's an official mission. So, what is he representing?
That's great.
I wish I could do that, but my suspenders may not be enough.
True.
Okay, you go and change into your pajamas. Takes you just a couple minutes, changing out, change it back in. You want to close the door for a little privacy. E, you make your way over to the computer.
First thing she wants to do is go to like Google Maps and use the like setting to pinpoint her location to see if she can figure out where they're at.
So you pop over to the computer. It's on just the background, right? All the screens are minimized. You can see the time is displayed on there. It's reading 6:30 a.m. on the computer. You go to open up or to maximize one of the browser tabs that's highlighted. Give me an electronics roll, please.
17.
Oh my goodness. So you pull up the browser, and there's already a couple of tabs open. Do you want to look at those before you pop over to Google Maps? Or do you want to do Google Maps first?
Yeah, she'd probably open a new tab and do the Google Maps thing first and then go back to the other tabs.
Okay. You hit the plus for a new tab. It won't load.
Okay, so she'll go back and look at the tabs that are open.
Yeah. The ones that are already open, you see 3 that are there. The first one is a website of some like scholarly articles. The article it's pulled up on is called The Art of Discipline: How to Finish the Job You Were Given. The second tab is it just has these lists of times, usernames, titles, various stat cards. Give me a common knowledge roll, because you have a defining interest in this, actually. We're just racking up all her defining interests today.
9.
A 9? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty certain, as you recognize some of these names with your defining interest in gaming, this is a series of lists of the country's top speedrunners of various video games. And you note... Wait, what did you say you got? Sorry.
9.
A 9.
A 9. Oh, beautiful. That's a raise. You note one of the highlighted stats is a game that someone finished, a fairly decent sized game, that they finished in less than half an hour. And the last tab is a folklore website. Unfortunately, that one is translated into a language that is not English.
Can she tell what language it is?
You can give me a language roll.
I don't know if this die is not weighted correctly, but it's being very nice to me. That one's
I'll
a
take
6. A 6, though.
It's a 6 minus 2, or the 6 is after
so
the
it'd be
minus
a
2?
4. It'd be a 4.
Okay, perfect. It's still a success. It looks like it's translated into Gaelic, of all things.
She'll pull her headphone off her ear and say, anybody speak Gaelic?
No.
No?
If you'd like to attempt it, you can make a hacking roll. See if you can't make it work in a language that you do speak.
I'm fluent in Google
5.
Translate.
Factual.
Well, at the moment, the tabs won't open, so Google is not available to me at the moment.
We could try it on our phones.
She will get out her phone and start to see if she has cell service or not. After she's finished looking at the tabs, she'll also look at the little settings bar of the computer to see if it is still connected to the internet or not.
So you start prepping your hack. You are looking at the settings simultaneously. You don't look like you're connected. You check your phone. You don't look like you're connected. There's some kind of interference.
There's no service.
E's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But the hacking is successful, and you are able to get it into... What language are you changing it to? Just English?
Yeah, she'll change
Boring,
it to
plain old English? Not something fun?
She puts it into Japanese.
Yeah, she puts it into Japanese or Arabic.
The katakana starts showing up just downwards. And what did you roll again? I'm sorry.
I think it was a 5.
Yeah, you said 5, I want to say, too.
A 5 or a 4 or something? Okay.
It was
but
passing.
It was a success.
Yeah.
This particular page of folklore, it mentions banshees. The lore about the banshee.
Does she know anything about banshees?
You can give me either an academics or an occult roll.
Wait, does it just say the lore about banshees? It doesn't have lore about banshees on this article?
With the weird way it's like translated,
Okay.
it's a little
I would
funky.
say this
Like,
is
if you want to sit there and read through it.
This is
you
very
can do that
lacking
too.
lore for a lore document.
Well, I'm just seeing if she
It's like
knows
half
anything
loaded.
previously already.
The
Because
page,
she
Dial-up.
doesn't have the energy to want to sit and read through the whole thing anyways.
yeah, your head hurts a lot.
That was a 4.
Yeah, you recall, and what little bit that was loaded up on the page kind of like stopped at like quarter way. You see that it says sometimes banshees are also referred to as a washerwoman. They're said to be seen as, when they are witnessed, they are they're washing clothes of some kind, whether it's like in a river or stream or whatever. They are either the clothes of someone about to die soon, for the friendlier sort. They're also known to be washing the clothes of their own victims.
Do we have a friendlier
Okay.
banshee?
What are the others up to?
What else is in the room?
Claire is curious about those clothes, so she's just going right over to that, start looking at.
Clothing?
Mm-hmm.
You go up to this pile of clothes. Give me a notice roll, please.
Also, is
Good
the
at
water
that.
still running? Because, I mean, the room was filling up with water. We never turned it off. Well, at least nobody
yeah, but
said
at this
it.
point
we
it's like
turned it
a
off.
sad little just sputter. Since the door opened, it seemed to calm it down. It's still sputtering out water though. The carpet by that part of the room is getting pretty moist.
Okay.
Would you like to turn it off?
I guess we could say he turned it off when he was changing his clothes. That's fine.
Yeah, give me a repair roll.
He's not trying to fix it,
okay.
if that helps. The 1.
A 1? Okay. You see the dial is kind of turned all the way to like a 30-minute wash cycle. You turn it back and it snaps off, still sputtering. You go to unplug it. It's sputtering a little less, but it's just sputtering.
Okay.
How did you do, ESP?
5.
5. You start looking at this pile of clothes. The first thing you notice is that it's only gloves. It's just a pile of gloves, but they're different types. There are winter gloves, there's some pretty costume gloves, some lacy bridal gloves, a nice pair of leather gloves in there. Also, what kind of gloves does ESP own?
Knit fingerless gloves. Simple.
And as you're looking at this pile, you see this pair of knit fingerless gloves. Along the palm of it, you see a red stain that kind of looks a little bit faded, as if someone tried to wash it away, but wasn't quite successful.
She will pick up the gloves that look like they're probably hers and examine the stain a little bit more closely.
Okay, and what is Mycroft doing?
He followed her over to look at the clothes, and he's also looking at the stains that we found on our clothes, or specifically on his suspenders and her coat.
Mhm.
The others are doing other things.
What pair of gloves does Mycroft own at home?
He has a nice pair of just very simple black leather gloves.
And wouldn't you know, as you're sorting through this pile, you find this nice pair of simple black leather gloves, a little tacky at one point where there's a bit of a stain there. You guys can give me a notice roll.
7?
Yeah, the closer you look at these gloves and at the clothing you found in the dryer, you can tell that it's a reddish stain that very much reminds you of blood.
Claire will then see if she has any injuries that might have caused the blood. Like just checking over herself.
You do a quick kind of once over on yourself. You're not noticing any kind of injury. You don't see any cuts. You don't see any bruising. You don't see anything like that. You also...
Mycroft checks himself as well for the same.
Excellent. You also do not spot any kind of injury, any cuts, any scrapes, or anything like that. What you don't notice, Mycroft and ESP, is while you're checking yourselves over and looking at these gloves, something seems to immediately attach around your necks. Something is suddenly grabbing at both of your necks. It started from behind and then managed to reach itself, and it feels very much like a hand that has grappled around your neck. Something is now squeezing the life out of you. which is
Except
going
for
to put us-
Mycroft. Mycroft still has environmental protection. He can't be suffocated.
Ah, look at that. He can't be suffocated.
Correct.
Unless
Lack
his
of
throat-
oxygen is
unless
specifically
his-
indicated in it.
Right, unless it's brute trauma force to you.
I mean, you could still crush his
Neck and
neck and break
pushing
it.
your
If you're breaking his neck, that's
Can
one
still
thing.
break the neck, but that still gives me a few more seconds.
But I can still breathe for now. These things are going to get the drop on you,
Yay!
which is going to put us into some initiative. As you feel these hands around your throats throttling you, you are considered bound. What bound means, the victim may not move, is distracted and vulnerable as long as he remains bound, and cannot make physical actions other than trying to break free. So while in this regard it's not your entire body bound, this thing at your throat is enough of a disturbance that it has your full attention. You will need to attempt to break free when it is your turn. But they do have that drop on you. That being said, we'll do that initiative.
Does E have her headphones on or no?
She had one off because she was telling
Okay.
them about what was happening.
Because
on
your
the
back
computer,
would be
so she
to
did.
them, so unless so that's I was wondering.
Absolutely.
I will say though, she was getting ready to turn around and tell them what she had just learned about this. So even if she didn't hear it, she was already getting ready to turn
Wait,
around
where
and
was
tell
the
them
closet at?
Situation.
It would have been down at the bottom of the map.
Okay, so it's not
We would have
Sure.
stepped through here.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go down the line. I'm going to deal in our buddies. Oh boy. An ace for our buddies who are gonna move together. For 13. Will a 6 work?
Yep, it's the lowest you can get.
Okay. Mycroft. Jack of Hearts. ESP.
Draw 2,
Okay.
give me the lowest.
Oh no. She's hesitant.
Yep.
That's gonna be a 7. And E pops up with a joker.
That means I can go
Um,
whenever I want.
And we all
That
get a
means-
penny.
You all get a Benny.
Whoop whoop.
Oh,
And-
speaking of bennies.
Yeah, let's say we have the Benny
community
pool.
ones. We do have a Benny pool.
Your Maven, is that the one?
Yes.
We have a
Yes,
Benny
indeed.
pool. You have a Benny
Yep.
pool. And you get a +2, I believe. Just you
Yeah.
get a +2 to whatever action you choose to take whenever you choose to take it. You are technically on hold, but you do not need to roll to interrupt. You can just interrupt when you feel like it.
We got 3 community bennies.
Hey.
3 community bennies.
And they disappear after the fight? Is that it? Okay.
Yep.
After the encounter. E, do you want to go?
Yes, because E was planning on getting ready to turn around and tell them about the Banshee situation anyways, about how there's washing machines in there and stuff about Banshees on here, and she knows that they are considered washerwomen. So she's going to like turn in the chair to tell them that. What does she see when she turns?
As you turn, you see these things. They look like severed hands that are kind of bleeding through a glove, like a latex glove that has holes in it. And they are attached quite firmly, leaving bloody marks around ESP and Mycroft's throats. You didn't see where they came from, but when you turned, they were attached.
So she's immediately going to cross to ESP right here and start trying to help her pull the hand off of her. Or she's going to start trying to pull the hand off.
Give me an athletics roll, please.
It's a 5.
Yeah, that is successful. You're able to kind of grab this thing by its lump of a would-be wrist and like tear it off of ESP. But it is able to, you're not grappling it. It just like, it falls to the ground and you see this hand kind of like sizing you up almost, if a hand could do that.
Would it be in one of the squares to the left or right then?
Yeah, so this is technically on him, but I don't want to put it on him and then have him not able to move. But yeah. So wherever she wants to throw it on the ground.
She'd probably throw it this way, away from them.
So very much next to Claire.
True.
Well,
actually, as she's throwing it, can't she like get it at a distance? Like it's a little hand. Like if I were to throw a hand, I imagine I could throw it more than a square.
The two, I would either like to throw it as far away from me as possible, or she'd like to throw it on the ground and try to step on it.
That would be considered multiple actions. That'd be like it'd be a pull and an attack. So I would need to know that. I need to know because it would be a -2 to both of those.
So
but I would let you drop it by you, so it's not by her.
Yeah, so she'll do that.
Is there any other movement you wanted to take?
No, she'll stay right here by ESP.
It is these creeping hands turns. This is why I wanted to print it. Now I remember. I was debating it. They don't like your face, E. They're unhappy. Well, one of them is grappling Mycroft as well. But first, let's deal with the one who's mad at you. Does a 6 meet your parry?
Yeah.
Okay. So it kind of comes crawling back up in this odd little scuttle right towards you with nails that are probably what caused the break in the latex glove. And it strikes at you. Does a 9 meet your toughness?
Yeah.
These things are oddly strong for being hands, won't even lie. So what is your toughness?
5.
Okay. So that's going to be a success and a raise. So you are shaken and you have 1 wound. You can use a Benny to soak it if you want to make a vigor roll.
Yeah.
Okay. A success will knock off the wound. A raise will lose the shaken as well. Oh my gosh.
That is a 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this thing scratches and tries to grab at you as well, but you're able to knock it right off of you, despite it making contact. It's going to, the one on Mycroft is going to squeeze around his throat, hoping to do some damage. That was only a 3, which I don't think hits your parry.
Just barely misses.
Ooh, ah. All right. You still feel it around your throat. It hasn't let go, but it's not hurting you anymore.
He hates weak handshakes.
That's such a gentleman thing.
Placed onto his throat.
That's such a gentleman thing. You can have a Benny for that. And it's your turn.
Wonderful. I'd like to get it off.
You'll need to. You can't do anything else because you're bound. So that's going to be either strength -2 or an athletics.
But the athletics wouldn't be at a -2, right?
Correct.
Well, that's a 2. So.
Oof.
I will spend that Benny and reroll. That is a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to... I actually messed that up. I'll allow it this time because I messed up the rule. But technically, you wouldn't be completely free. You would just be entangled, which is different than bound. But because I had E pull the whole thing off, you are able to loosen it. You are no longer bound. It is just next to you. You kind of toss it onto the ground. You can still move if you'd like, but it is your full action to remove it.
No, this looks like a fine place to be.
ESP, you're free.
Yes. First, just going to turn and glance at Mycroft to make sure he is also free. And then we will take out our gun, and we're going to shoot at the hand that was around her. So the one in front of
Shooting rolls do not need to meet parry. You just need to succeed on the shooting roll.
But does it have a negative for being so close with a pistol?
Oh, as a ranged weapon? Okay, if you're going to do it in short range, then it would be the parry versus the target number 4.
That is a 5 on the shooting roll.
Yeah, you start firing at this tiny thing, which, mind you, is no longer than a foot long. Even though it's a hand, it's shorter than a foot. And the shot goes...
And
the shot misses.
Dang.
Shorter than a foot. Anything else?
No, we're good.
13. You are watching them pull severed hands off of their throats.
Yeah, but everybody has it off their throats right now, right?
Correct.
All right, so he's going to move over here. And then he's going to pull out his shotgun, which is now his trademark weapon that he named Elodie. And he's
That's
going...
Elodie.
Yeah. And he is going to shoot it. At close range, it gets +2. And I believe it also gets a +1 because it is his trademark. And my shooting is now a D10. So that is a 7 plus 3, so 10.
Yeah.
All right, and
That hits
then
its parry, being short range, or
so
being
then it
up
takes
close.
3d6. So that's 9.
9 against its toughness. Yeah, you let out a blast. You watch like one of the fingers get just blown off of this thing. Is that all?
Yeah.
And we're dealing. To the hands. It's only a 3. To 13.
Why?
Also the lowest he's able to get. Mycroft. That's a 7. To ESP. And take the lowest.
Probably gonna be that 3.
Oh no. It's gonna stick with the 3 instead of the queen she drew
That's
second.
okay.
And
that.
for E. An ace of diamonds. E, what you got? If you want to take multiple actions, let me know in advance. It's -2 to each.
How's that hand look like it's doing in front of her?
It's missing a finger on top of being all gory.
She'll try and shoot at it then.
You are pretty close. So same rule applies. You're trying to hit its parry instead of the target.
You could move and then shoot and then not have that happen.
You could.
If I move out of... Is attack of opportunities a thing here?
It is.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to try that. She's just going to try to shoot at it.
Okay.
That is an 11.
11 hits with a raise. So you'll add a damage die.
12 damage.
Yeah, you're using your pistol to blast this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you, on the other side of where it lost its first finger, you blast it just straight through the knuckle bones and just watch it kind of seize up and collapse to the ground, unmoving.
She'll just take a step back from it.
Yeah, you are welcome to do that. It's pretty gross. There's like spatter. Some of it's on your shoes. It's gross.
And then she's going to put her headphone back on.
And enough of that nonsense. Mycroft,
He's just gonna try to stomp on this one next to him.
give me a fighting roll.
3.
3 is not gonna do it. You start to step and this thing is like scuttling around your foot. Anything else?
Nope.
13.
He's
You're up.
gonna move up here and he's gonna shoot at that one then.
All right, go for it.
That's 14.
That hits with...
One raise.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 14 damage.
Yeah, this thing is super duper uncomfortable.
And that's his turn.
And ESP, you with the diamond will go before the club.
Yay! I'm going to take 2 shots at the hand And because I'm calculating, I get to ignore up to 2 points of penalties on one action that turn, which can include multi-action, cover, range, or even wounds.
Nice. Shoot it.
Yes.
Kill it.
Are you double tapping as well?
No, we'll just take 2 shots. Does a 6 hit?
6 does not hit its parry.
Cool. See if second shot hits. Ooh, that's a roll that again. Again. 16?
A 16 will hit its parry.
That'd be 2 raises, right?
Plus some. Yeah.
18.
Yeah. Your second bullet also blasts through this thing. There is viscera and blood across the floor where it was, on the gloves where it had fallen next to, along that little laundry basket. There is a scene there now.
That's what you get for being handsy. We like a hands-free approach.
These things are a bit of a handful.
She turns to Pierre and just gives a thumbs up.
Everyone give me a notice roll. At a -2, please.
Are we
feel like I
still
forgot to say that
technically in
before.
combat right now?
Yes, technically.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of the combat bennies if that's fine. Nice.
Use one!
Uh-huh. And ESP and E, I think I'd forgotten to mention this before, but it is an additional -1 from earlier. Your smarts rolls and your spirit rolls will be at an additional -1.
Cool. So then I'm going to use a communal Benny.
Communal bennies.
It was just a -2 to begin with, right? So it's just a total -3?
Correct.
Okay, so it's a 4.
Okay.
Got a 7.
4, 7. Mycroft?
11.
ESP?
0.
Beautiful.
Less than 0.
The best. You are the only one, as you just finished blowing this hand to smithereens, that does not see, as seemingly from nowhere, holding on up along the ceiling, right over the computer where E had just been doing her research. You see these 2 other hands that had begun scuttling towards you. Mycroft, what you noticed was that for a moment there was like a shimmer, like you couldn't see them, and then they seemed to appear, almost to materialize. But they will not get the drop on you. They were not smooth enough. Let's deal over these flipped cards, shall we? To the hands, a queen of diamonds. To 13, 7 of diamonds. To Mycroft, a king of diamonds. To ESP, either a 10 or a 3 of hearts. A 3 of hearts will do her just fine.
It works out great.
And E with the 4 of diamonds. King Mycroft, what you got? As you were the first to notice these things that were approaching.
For flavor, since Claire is distracted, he just grabs her shoulder and just kind of turns her around so that she can see. There's still things going on in here. And he's going to... They're up on the ceiling?
Yes,
Still,
they seem to
or
be
did they
scuttling
drop
across.
down?
Not yet.
Okay. He'll draw his gun and take a shot at the bottom one.
Okay.
That's a 1.
Does not quite
Still
hit.
got a communal Benny.
There is a communal Benny.
All right, sure.
Go for it.
I'll take it. And that's
As
a
long as it's not... Any movement?
2.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you. I see you doing your protecting. You can have a Benny for that.
Gotta stay loyal.
Our Queen of Diamonds is for our creeping hands. They move forward. One is heading directly towards 13, attempting to fall and strike him. That's only a 6.
His parry is an 8.
Gotcha. That will not succeed then. The second one comes running towards Mycroft. We'll also try and jump down on him. That's a big fat 1. He also got a 1. So you watch as these hands come crawling across the ceiling and then drop. They try to swipe at you as they fall, and you step out of the way. They're just moving, getting closer. Maybe they're maneuvering. We'll give them that credit. 13.
Right.
You have a hand drop.
So it's still...
We'll move him here so he's not on you.
Okay. I guess he's going to shoot. He's just going to double shoot. So he's going to shoot twice. So that is in 8.
Okay. 8 hits. His parry.
12 damage. And then that one's only a 6.
So you've wounded him. It's shaken and it's wounded. What you got, E?
She doesn't want to get attacked by this hand, but she's going to try to move away. So she's going to do that action and then also try to, because isn't there an action she can take that's like the disengage action?
I don't see a specific disengage, but also, like, if you wanted to take multi-action, I'd let you take a multi-action penalty if you wanted to step back, and if you wanted to attack it or something. Okay. I'd let you do it at the -2.
That's what she's going to try to do. I don't know how far away she needs to get to not take...
Just not melee. As long as you're not melee, so
okay.
Have a square difference.
Then she's going to shoot at the hand.
The hand to the left of Mycroft?
Yes. That is an 11.
11, yeah.
So then...
Just yes. With a raise, so you'll add a die to the damage.
Technically, it'd be a 10 with the -1.
Okay, then no additional damage. That was a 5? Oh yes. Yeah, that's fine for the toughness. Yep. So it is shaken as you shoot at it. I am going to spend one of my bennies. Now it's not shaken.
Boo.
Anything else you'd like to do, ma'am?
Nope.
All right, ESP.
She's going to take 2 shots. She'll shoot once at each hand.
First to the left.
Yep, that does not hit. That is a 2 and a 3. We'll try for the next one with some different dice. Let's see. These dice do not like me.
No.
That was a 1 and a 2.
Oof.
No.
Yeah, these shots. Luckily, it wasn't a crit fail, because you would have ended up shooting a little wild. And
there are a lot of people around.
Kinda. Okay, are you moving at all?
No, she's pretty covered, pretty secure.
I'm safe in my hidey hole of people.
She is.
All right, top of the initiative. We have an ace of diamonds for our hands. 6 of clubs. Oh, wow. 13, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're the one that shuffled.
Mycroft with a 10 of clubs. ESP is gonna take... Technically, you would be taking the... It would be the spade.
Clubs, I mean.
Yeah. So we're gonna flip the spade. And it's a 5 of... Still calculating. 5 of clubs. And E gets the queen of spades. Fired at... Angry. Somehow you can tell a stub of a hand is angry. Has one...
Double eyebrows.
I was gonna say, well, if it's doing certain hand gestures,
look like eyebrows.
Identify.
Just, making some very nice hand gestures.
Yes, they're just... That's what it is. The one to the left of Mycroft at his feet, going to scuttle up to him and attempt to grab at his ankles. He's going to try and pull him to the... He can't technically... Well, he could grapple, but that's a 17 to your parry.
Just barely hits.
A couple of raises.
I
don't know if those things raise or not.
As he grabs at Mycroft's ankle to pull him. So while this thing is grabbing at you, you are considered vulnerable as it's clutched to your leg. I won't say it knocks you prone, but its buddy will take advantage of this opportunity, hopefully, to attack. That's an 11 to the parry. Your parry's a 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one raise.
That is 5 to your toughness?
My toughness is 5.
Okay, so you are shaken.
But not stirred.
Oh, you know what? Before I even do that, the one above you has to make a vigor roll to unshake himself. Fantastic. Just had to make sure. So you are considered shaken. So no wounds, but you are shaken. So you can either spend a Benny at any point to remove the shaken status, or on your turn, you will make a vigor roll. But that is their turn. Queen E.
So is the hand to the left back on the ground again?
Yes, they are both on the ground.
So she will just try to shoot at it again.
Go for it.
Don't shoot his ankles.
Hit my ankle.
Oh, that's true. It is.
Well, that's what I
that's
asked.
right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he is still. It's on. Yeah, it's on.
Little ankle
It's
biter.
on me.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you
so
miss,
what
you are
about
very
the
likely to
one-
hit him.
What about the one in front of him?
It's very small, but it is not attached to him. You would have to move, though, for line of sight.
Yeah, so she'll...
It is considered
if she
very
moves
small.
Here.
Moving over to the left, okay?
Is that good? Does she have line
Yes.
of sight now? Okay.
Yes.
You can always stand
So
on the
then-
desk. Just climb on.
I was gonna have that be her next move just in case. But if they're coming from the ceiling, she doesn't want to be any closer to the ceiling.
Fair.
That's a 4 for her shooting roll.
Yeah.
It's 3 damage.
What is
3.
happening?
I know.
Oh, so that far one, and he didn't unshake, so that's going to be another wound for it.
That's all she got.
Micro? Oh, you need to roll
I have
to
a bigger roll.
break free. It is your action to break free from the
And then when does the
Entangled.
vigor roll for shaken happen?
that happens
the-
first.
Is that also an
That's first.
action?
First.
Or is that
No,
free?
that's a free action.
Okay, cool.
Free action is vigor roll.
That is a 6
Beautiful.
and another 6
Oh my gosh.
and a 2.
You are definitely
14.
you're free to act. With those raises, I'll allow you to do the action as a free action. Limited free action to break free with those raises.
And
That'll be-
that's athletic, right?
Correct.
3.
This thing's holding pretty tight to
You
your
can use your
ankle.
action though again to try and break free off of it. Or break it off because she said that was free
Technically,
action.
I did say that was a free action. It's true.
So
This
you-
would be your proper action, though.
You can get a redo.
That's a 4.
That does it. You kick this thing free, kind of flops and lands next to you. You can move if you want to.
I do not.
Only one of them would get the opportunity attack because the one above you is shaken.
Damn put.
Okay. 13.
He's gonna move to over here. And then
Okay.
he's gonna shoot one after the other at them. So he's gonna shoot twice again.
Who are you shooting first?
The one that's already shaken. Ooh, that was a crit fail.
Poof! So you rolled 2 1s.
Yes.
Hits a random victim adjacent to or directly in the line of fire. So 2 innocent bystanders. Who's around you? Oh, that's a shame. It's literally just.
I mean, I was shooting in their direction too.
1, 2. We won't make it just him. We'll say it's between.
Well, wouldn't it be 2 of them? So it would be him and ESP.
Yeah, him and
Yeah.
him and ESP.
No.
Yeah, what's that damage?
Well, it would be 3d6 for Mycroft and then 2d6 for ESP because she's farther away.
Roll it separate.
So this is from Mycroft. Uh-oh. This is my first time getting a 6 on a d6 of damage. On
He
this.
dies.
That's 6. Oh, that's another 6. That's 12. That's another 6. That's 18. Okay, it's calmed down. It's calmed down. So that's 21.
calmed
So that's
down.
21 plus another 6. That's 27.
Would you
sorry.
like to
I'm
soak some of
sorry.
Are there any community bennies left?
No, he used the last one.
Okay, so that's that is to your toughness.
Which is
What was that
5.
total?
Which is fine. It was 27.
That's 5
That's
raises.
5 raises.
Do
What?
you have any bennies to soak, or you're gonna?
I mean, yeah, but I want to know what it means first.
Yeah.
Sure. It means incapacitated, and it means an immediate vigor roll is what it means. A crit 1 is not a critical failure is not what you want right now.
How many bennies would I need to soak?
You roll,
That.
so you use 1 Benny to make a vigor roll to soak. 1 success is going to soak 1 point of wound. So you need a success and a raise to avoid incapacitation.
All right.
The
well,
shotgun. It's a shotgun.
I have plenty of bennies to spend.
Let's use them. 1 Benny will let you do a full reroll if you need it. A full vigor roll.
5.
Okay, so that's
5?
1 down.
No, so it needs to be in 1 roll.
Oh.
You don't get multiple vigor rolls. You
He
get a
can't
vigor
use
roll.
another benny to make another one.
He can.
So after using 5 bennies, I rolled a 6 on the wild die, and then a 4.
Hey. Okay. Yeah.
I
there
am
you
fresh
go.
out of bennies.
So you're at 3 wounds deep, then? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Alright, and I'll roll for
And
Claire.
shaken.
Still
Oof.
fine.
You're fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, no.
Don't roll more 6s. Don't
No,
you do-
yeah, I rolled double 5s, so it's 10.
Okay.
So I think
And
that's
against your
that-
toughness.
yeah, I think that's
Her toughness is a 6, so that's
a
A
raise.
shaken and a wound.
Yeah.
fun.
This
As
is so
these
good
slugs
against
come out of his
werewolves.
shotgun that seems to backfire, and these slugs go wild firing into, like right into Mycroft's gut and right into Claire's like arm or something. Ouch. So it'll be a -3 to your actions, Mycroft, and a -1 to your actions, Claire, with the wound.
All right, I think he's gonna take his second attack because that was
Did
his
not
first.
see anyone yell out and say, like, do we really think a shotgun is the best choice?
All right, we're gonna go for the wounded
just
hand
threw-
again.
Okay? With the shotgun? It
Yeah.
can't happen again.
Okay,
couldn't
no, it
possibly.
didn't. That would be 9.
A 9 will hit it.
I almost forgot that he was doing 2. So it's 11 damage.
Beautiful. This thing is laid out. Good job. ESP, give me a vigor roll, please, to unshake.
Yes.
With a
let's see this.
-1, please.
Yes. Oh, okay. It's a 1.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You remain shaken. The only thing you can do on this turn is move.
Can you use a Benny to re-roll it?
She can.
Yeah, well, okay, I got a couple dice. We'll re-roll that.
Okay.
Hopefully the dice are nice. That's a 4.
Yeah, you are unshaken. You can act as normal.
Excellent. She saw her friend get shot. She would like to... You said something about like a help action that she could do for Mycroft to maybe give him a plus on his next vigor roll or something.
Yeah, you can try to support him as far as when he makes his vigor roll to unshake.
Yeah.
That's fine. What are you doing? What do you say to him or do for him?
She's going to, let's see, put a hand on his arm and say, you better not die on me. You better not die on me. You're Petey's namesake, and I can't lose you.
I think she said that to him in every one of our sessions this campaign.
What would your mom say if you died today? Don't make me tell your mom you died.
I'll
you won't
tell
invite me
her.
back for Thanksgiving.
You shut up or you might get shot next time.
That's so generous. I'll tell her.
Only fair if he's the one who caused
Hey, I
it.
killed your son.
He really was trying to be nice about it too. I'll tell her. It's my fault. You shut up.
Shut up or I'll shoot you this time.
All right. Roll me for the support. Roll a persuasion.
You can persuade someone to do better on their vigor. What is
She's trying to be encouraging to him. I'll allow it. It won't work every single
Don't
time.
die.
It will lose its effectiveness.
Okay, that is a 7.
Yeah, that's a success with a raise. So he will get a +2 to his vigor check for unshaking.
So just a minus
So it's just a
one.
-1.
Yes.
-1.
Just a -1. Better than a -3. All right, are you moving at all?
Probably should get out of the blast.
No. No, she's staying by Pierre. Hand on
Okay.
his arm.
Top of the round. Next initiative order. The hand that remains has an 8 of diamonds. 13 now has a jack of hearts. Mycroft with his 9 of hearts. Claire either has an 8 of spades or a 5. I think a 5 works just dandy for her.
It does.
Wow, she's nothing but calculating. And E with a queen of hearts.
Queen.
Queen E is going first. Queen.
Yeah, she is.
And this queen.
So this hand is still attached to Mycroft's ankle, right?
Oh,
Or did
yeah.
he take it off?
No, he didn't.
It's
He didn't
still
break free
it's
of it.
still there, but it's not really the highest on his
Doesn't
priority.
matter.
Well, all the other ones are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as you don't crit
He's
fail.
forgotten about that hand.
Don't crit fail, and I don't think you'll hurt him too bad.
She's gonna try to rip it off his leg, and she'll try to toss it like over this direction.
Okay, so it'll be the athletics to pull it off as an action, and then the throwing will be an action, which I'll say is just like your fighting roll or something.
So I need to do a minus what for taking?
-2.
Minus
Mhm.
2. That's a 6, so 4.
Yeah, that is successful. It's not opposed, it's just athletics. So you grab it off and then throw it. Give me a fighting roll.
11.
You lob this thing. Where are you lobbing it?
She's trying to throw it back this direction.
Back behind you?
Yeah.
What if you threw it at the wall and tried to get some wall damage?
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, let's do that.
Do it.
Okay.
You said an 11 you got?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to say that fighting against its parry as you're lobbing it, so that's going to be a success and a raise. So you managed to lob this thing at the wall. We're going to call that some improvised shenanigans. Yeah, because you've got your like MacGyver cool stuff going on. Like you're all about improvisation. Yeah, what is your strength?
4.
So roll your strength plus a d4. So roll your strength die and a d4. So
Okay.
2d4. I guess.
Do I? No, this is damage, so that doesn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Correct.
You want me to add them together?
Yes, this
4.
is damage. Yeah. You lob this thing up against the wall. It falls flat onto the desk next to the computer. It is shaken.
Oh, it was that wall, not the wall all the way down here?
She was trying to throw it at the wall at the bottom of the map.
Oh!
She wants it like away from them.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Or if you need her to, she can throw it at the other wall so that you don't have to mess with the cards.
No, I think
That
that's all
was
the
it through
space
the
I need for it.
TV.
Okay.
Through the TV. No, she'd have to do a little better to get it actually through the TV. Yeah, it is shaken down there against the thing.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think she can move there.
Yeah.
13.
So,
Jack of Hearts.
what does stim packs do again?
So it would be the equivalent of the healing power. Think a stim pack though. I think it's a one-time use item. I think it's an auto.
It's an auto?
Yeah, I think it just removes a wound.
All right, cool, because I have 2 of them. So I'm going to do 2 actions and inject Pierre with it twice. So
Okay.
that takes away 2 of his wounds.
Love that for you. He's down to 1 wound.
And now he has a +1 when he makes that check.
Awesome.
And I'll move there.
Speaking of, Mycroft, give me a vigor with a +1.
8.
Beautiful. You are unshaken. Take your turn as normal.
He is still wounded, correct? You still have a wound?
1 wound, correct.
He is going to do the same for her, the support action. He'll take off his vest and use that to wrap around her arm where she was shot. Brutally.
Brutally.
And that will be his support for whatever she does.
Well, so you will have to specify what action you are supporting. So are you supporting her shooting again next round? Because the support can be wasted if she chose to do something other than what you chose to support her in. So like if you're wrapping her arm up so that her aim isn't like off or something, so she can get the bonus for a shot, you can do that.
Okay.
So
I mean,
ESP,
he
if you
doesn't
plan to
know
shoot-
the future, so yeah,
Right.
we'll say that.
Yeah, it's like holding an action or like readying an action in D&D, right? Like whatever is gonna trigger that action needs to be specified. It's like that. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
Handsy over here has to make a vigor roll. That is a success. He is no longer shaken. You watch it coming up to you, 13, and it's going to also take a negative. It's going to try and smack at you twice. We'll see what he's able to do, though.
Is this one wounded at all? Or have we not managed to wound this one yet?
Oh, he's wounded.
Okay.
Yes. Actually, no. Woohoo, both of them aced, though. So the first one is a 13 to your parry.
Okay, that one it makes it.
Is there a raise?
Yes, 1 raise.
That's going to be 9 against your toughness.
My toughness is a 5.
Okay, so that's
Oh, wait,
a
no,
shaken and a
Because
wound.
I also have the suit. How does the armor work?
So they have to hit the number, your toughness plus the number in the armor.
Okay, so that would make it 6.
So it's just a shaken then.
Okay.
The second one is an 18 to hit. That is an 11.
Okay, so that one would hit. That would be with also a raise.
Correct. And if you are already shaken,
That would put me at 2 wounds.
that is 2 wounds.
I'll use a Benny.
Okay. Make a vigor roll.
I crit failed on that one.
All right. 2 wounds it is. And you are shaken. As he comes crawling up to you, starts battering at your knees unexpectedly, with unexpected strength for a dismembered hand. ESP. It's up to you now.
Excellent. Cool. So
Sounds
because
good.
she's calculating, she gets to ignore up to 2 points of penalty.
Nice.
So there's no penalty for her action with the wound. And then she gets the... How much is the plus for her shots from Pierre's support? Is that +2?
Plus 1?
+1? Excellent. So we're gonna take a shot at this hand. Double tap gets a +2? +1? Awesome. So we'll double tap it.
So spend 2 more bullets.
Yeah. That is a 8 to hit.
8 hits it.
Excellent. And then we'll roll some damage.
Wreck it.
14.
Yeah, that's shaken in 2 wounds. Anything else you're doing?
Or she's gonna just say, that's how you shoot it when it's attached to somebody.
We're going to spend that. It's going to become unshaken. 13, you're welcome to react as you choose. But as this hand is taking these bullets from ESP, it is going to scuttle away towards the wall, along the floor and towards the wall. You are welcome to take an attack if you choose. If you want to.
Okay, yeah, I can
try.
shoot at it.
Okay.
Now it's a -2. 7.
7 hits it.
7 damage.
Yeah, it starts trying to scuttle away, and you give it one last blast. As it's reaching the corner of the floor and the wall, it is now just meat and muscle and blood on the side of on the corner of the floor. He is dead. Everyone give me a quick notice roll as drop out of initiative.
5.
That's a 2.
2.
E and Mycroft, as this one gets blown away, just out of the corner of your eye, you think you see some kind of another bit of that shimmering that you had seen earlier, Mycroft, but then it disappears. You had seen it off towards the television, that side of the wall, but then it seems to disappear. We are no longer in initiative.
Sorry, you two.
E will pull her headphone off of her ear, and that was interesting to say the least. The computer over here has a window open that has some folktale stuff about banshees on it. I don't know if anybody else knows anything about banshees, but I've heard that they're seen as washerwomen and wash the clothes of their victims or someone who is about to die soon. And considering we all found items of clothing in there that belong to us, that does not bode well, especially after this interaction. So
We haven't died yet. But
We should probably
You two.
try to leave.
we should, but are you two okay? She's gonna point at 13 and Mycroft.
I've been better.
I'd say you've been
Process of
better.
Checking her arm to make sure that it's no longer bleeding.
If anyone is
Trust-
wounded, you can make a 1 healing roll at this time. It'll take you some time to do. It's 10 minutes of kind of catering to the wound, but you can make a healing.
We still can't just soak it with the
No.
bennies.
I mean, if you guys have wounds to tend to, I'm happy to head upstairs and just peek around a little bit.
I don't know if we should separate.
No,
I'm just
we
peeking
should-
up the top of the
Di-
stairs.
certainly
I don't
not
go all the
separate.
way up.
Oh, we'll go explore. Exploring's fun.
Where y'all off to?
Mycroft starts walking up
Well,
the stairs.
I tried the healing
Okay.
roll and I got a 2. So
Okay.
I guess
So you're hanging
her.
out with 1 wound. Who has the wound that you were healing?
Huh? He was
Who are you
trying to
healing?
heal himself. He's got
Oh,
more wounds than
okay.
anybody right now. He used all his stim packs on Mycroft.
Oh, it's true. Ooh, yeah. Okay.
So I guess I'll follow
We'll
up
have
the
to take
stairs
time
if
to
that's
let
where
that
they're
one heal.
going.
Yeah. You guys make your way up the stairs. You go to touch the door, open it. The handle turns just fine. And I need you all to please make me your next dramatic task spirit roll. E, you can add a +1 to your roll. So whatever your previous, if there was a negative, or whatever it is, just add that to your bonus and penalties.
3.
4.
4.
17, but I think she had a -1 for this, so that is 16.
16. Wow.
Success in 3 races.
You're catching us up pretty quick. So, 6 more to this pile. You have 8 of 20 as you open the door. What you see, the living room is barely lit. Dim, slightly warm tinged light is starting to creep into the room from behind the thin, drawn window curtains. Even in the darkness of the room, ghostly shadows sweep the length of the floor and walls. The wooden floor and ceiling are dusty and splintery. The peeling paint on the walls reveals rot and an occasional skittering insect. A chill makes you shake and leaves you with goosebumps on your skin. It's hard to tell if the creaks and groans are coming from the dust-laden couch, or bookshelf, or from something that can draw breath. The tarnished gold legs of a decorative table peek out from beneath an embroidered tablecloth. An abandoned tea set sits cold and dull on a metal tray. A grandfather clock quietly tick, tick, ticks away. And a single long hallway, lined with crooked, torn, and molded paintings, leads to a solitary door, simple and with a rusty knob. What are you doing?
Claire goes right for that tea set. Very curious about the tea set.
He's gonna go move the curtain so that the room is more well lit.
Even as you pull the curtain aside, it's like barely letting much in. What you're seeing essentially is like the very edge of sunrise as you're pulling the curtain aside. So it's still fairly dark out. ESP.
How high up are we? Well, she sees
No,
the
you're
sun.
on.
Like if we're
Oh,
on
you're
it.
on like a first level of a home. ESP. You've taken 2 steps towards this tea set and you immediately recognize those cups. They match perfectly your favorite set of teacups. A teacup you always have on hand when you go on any mission, when you go traveling at all. You also see that the tray on the table it looks like something has spilled on it. Some tea, but also you see what look like droplets of blood. Please give me a common knowledge roll.
That is a 4.
As you're looking at this tea set that you definitely recognize as your own, a memory strikes you, and you recall that you had offered tea to the father in this home.
Oh, that's fun. She is going to check the set carefully for damage as she's thinking about this and
Sure.
tuck it into her bag.
Okay, yeah, you start looking it over. It looks dull, but otherwise not broken as you start to take it. What are the others doing?
The other thing besides the window is a door, right?
As far as what? There's a lot
The
of
end of
things
the
in this room.
hallway, the door.
Yeah, there's a hallway that leads down to a door. Mm-hmm.
Mycroft is gonna look at the paintings in the hallway.
Give me a notice check. Notice roll.
13.
You look at these paintings. What you notice is that they are otherwise, they're old. They're torn up or they're moldy, or otherwise just there's parts of it that are almost look erased. But what you can make out from them, they appear to show some kind of building that's otherwise very pale, kind of reminds you of downstairs, that almost too clean feeling. You see the edge of what looks like white linen on a metal bed of some kind, but the whole rest of the paintings appear to be very blocked or erased or smudged or just molded over.
E would like to look at the bookshelf and see if she sees any books related to Banshees, Carbondale, Illinois, or Penny Island, I think is what you called it.
So you pop over to the bookshelf. Give me a research roll.
It's a 3.
You don't find anything specific to Banshees. Again, you don't find anything specific to this location. What you do find very stand out, because there isn't very much on this shelf, you find multiple sets of what appear to be kind of, different genres of books. You see a set of titles that look like they're from a young adult series. One is called The Hands of Penny Island.
Oh, so
The second one on the shelf is called Watching Watchers. It's from the Recruiters series, book 3.
The Nancy
And
Drew.
you see a third. Yeah, totally. The third one on that shelf you see is called The Hospital on Sunrise Plaza.
she'll pick up The Hands of Penny Island and start just like skimming through the book.
You open the book and immediately you see every page is blank. There is a shelf below it that has more books. There's 3 shelves and 3 series of books.
So she'll take time to look at the other 2
Mm-hmm.
shelves as well.
The second shelf These books are much more colorful and bright, bolder font. This is a set of children's chapter books with the following titles: Dr. Becky Blake and the Missing Memories, Dr. Becky Blake and the Sleep Runners, and Dr. Becky Blake and the Penny Island Hospital. The last shelf, you see also these very bold colors. This is a series of comic books with the following titles: Astral Leap Volume 1, The Scream in the Void, Astral Leap Volume 2, Dreams Too Deep, and Astral Leap Volume 3, A Lifetime in a Moment.
She's gonna stop and turn around to everybody else and take a headphone off of her ear. Do you think there's a chance that we're like dreaming right now and like we're in some sort of mind game? Because the computer downstairs had some sort of like it was a list of usernames and times. It looked like speed runners for games. And everything's just too like on the nose. Like I don't know how all of our clothes would be here. It almost feels like we got put into this game in our minds and someone's messing with us trying to see how quickly we can escape.
It could also just be an abduction.
I guess that's true, but
And
I don't
13's
know.
gonna make his way towards the door. He wants to leave.
Towards what?
the only door that's not
the
the
hall.
staircase door. he's
She'll
not,
also
he's not
ask
going
if
back
anybody-
downstairs. And he's leaning
She'll
on his
also ask if
cane. Oh, sorry.
You're fine. She'll also ask if anybody knows anything about Penny Island because it sounded familiar to her, but she couldn't figure out exactly how or where she'd heard of it before.
Sounds like an island where clowns would live.
I'm going to let you roll another common knowledge. It's going to be at a -4 for everyone except E, where it will only be a -1 because of your defining interest. As you bring up the idea of, are we trapped in the Matrix? Whoa, guys, my tin hat is shining right now.
You said
Couldn't
it's a
possibly be
-4.
research instead.
-4.
So of all things, I managed to get a 4 because I got 10 on my dice.
I love that for you.
Did you say I had a -1? Okay,
Yes,
so that would be a 12.
Wow.
It's a 7 for me.
Okay, and common knowledge is a smarts roll, so you two also have the additional -1.
6.
Just you two, though. 6 and a 11.
Mm-hmm.
6, 11, a 4. And what did you get, Mycroft?
-1.
Yikes. Okay. Penny Island. It's gibberish. It doesn't mean anything. Something strikes in your mind that it's like you've seen people talk about it dark web style, but it's not actually dark web. It's really within your own organization. When you're out and about talking about these people, it's best to use discretion, is what you recall. And instead of calling them by their name all the time, sometimes you use other words, or you might use acronyms. Penny Island, PI, E with an 11, PI as a member of Oblivion immediately points you to Pandora Institute. Pandora Institute is essentially the counter organization to you guys. They're trying to bring more awareness to people who can see or have special abilities. They want people to know. They kind of want to bring chaos that Oblivion is trying to keep a cap on, so people don't lose their minds that things like this can happen.
But 13's
So-
opening that door.
That's the information you get.
When
You go
E
straight to the door?
realizes that, she'll say that if she has time.
Is anyone else doing anything in this room as 13 is charging towards the door?
We're just putting pieces together of a tea set from a memory of offering tea to somebody. When you said in this house, did you mean like she has a memory of offering tea to somebody in this physical house before?
Yes.
Cool. And then the pumpkin sweatshirt and stuff. She's wondering, she's gonna say, I wonder if this is related to some of our other cases. Pumpkins. I remember giving tea to somebody in this house. I mean, I give tea to a lot of people, but not in a place like this before. Is it like our old cases coming back to haunt us? That'd be fun. It'd make a really
Probably.
cool book. But
Sure feels personal.
right, they have my favorite tea set. Can you believe that? This has gotten broken.
That's why it almost makes me feel like we're in some sort of dream sequence, or I don't know. I don't know that I feel like any of this is actually like real.
How does one
Maybe
break
we
out of a
should
dream
find
sequence?
some more evidence first.
Well, looks like 13's headed for the door, so let's move on.
Okay. As 13 takes hold of the door, I need you all to please make me your next spirit roll for your dramatic task. E, you could have a Benny for the books discovery and the Penny Island discovery.
I got a 5.
12.
20?
You're at 18.
Oh, we need
Good catch.
20.
Got this.
You need
Mhm.
20.
And we have one more instance.
And you have one more. As you reach for the door and open it, you see a small room. There's one dangling bulb that casts sporadic light across the room as it buzzes and swings, leaving eerie shadows in its wake. It occasionally flickers, drenching the room in darkness, and then crackles back to life. The room is small, feels smaller still, with a bed, a dresser, and a desk crammed inside. The walls have peeling paint, and the ceiling is just so many rotting tiles. The bed has layers of moth-eaten blankets and quilts roughly tossed over it as if it were made in a hurry. On top of that are unsorted piles of athletic shorts, sports jerseys, caps, belts, and a pair of sneakers with missing laces and significant odor. An artificially sweet smell stings your noses and just barely overpowers the scent of sweaty feet. The dresser stands about 4 feet high by the foot of the bed, and its weight makes the feet sink into the dull carpet. It looks as if it were once quite a showpiece, but now the wood is riddled with decay, and the bronze handles to each drawer are green with tarnish. Yellowed notebooks and textbooks are strewn across the top, as well as a few fiction novels. Barely clinging to the wall above it is a clock with a green-faced and purple-suited comic book villain. The desk sits opposite the bed, with a tipped-over rolling chair between them. The wheels are bent or missing entirely. The padded back is torn and without much cushion left. Cobwebs in the joints drift to the breeze of the door opening. Patches of carpet around the fallen chair look a little darker than throughout most of the room. The dust-laden desk tilted away from the door, as only a few rusted nails remain to hold the wood together. The small drawer has slid off of its track, sits crooked but open, revealing scattered sports cards, old candy wrappers, rotted peels, and a bent charging cable. And a larger drawer on the sturdier side of the desk remains shut with an oily metal lock. What are you doing?
Did Pierre notice what the time was on the grandfather clock?
With your notice, I'll say yes. It said 6:30.
And what does the clock in here say?
It says 6:30.
Is that also what the computer said?
It is.
The time hasn't moved forward at all then.
Is the clock in here ticking like the grandfather clock was?
Yes.
E's gonna put her headphone back on and go over to check out those books.
Yeah, E, you go over to the books that are on top of the
Dresser, I think they
dresser?
were on top of the dresser, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right below the clock that's right up on the wall. And you actually find that it's more of the same. It's actually repeats of what was in the living room on the bookshelf.
Well, if that's not fruitful, then she'll go over and try the locked drawer just to see if it's actually unlocked. Unless it's like a combination lock on the front of it.
That's what I was about to ask, because that was the last, like a greasy locked door, I think he said it was, or something.
Yeah, like an oily metal lock.
Yeah, because he has tools in the handle of his knife, so if it is locked, he was going to try and use that on them.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
And it's
Evil
like, what
lock.
kind of lock? Is it like a dial code lock, or is it more
No,
of like
it's like a I want to say it's like a combination lock for like a locker, but I don't want it to be, so it's not. It's more like a padlock.
Okay. What would that be then?
That would be a thievery roll if you're picking a lock, but you have a tool for it.
So the tool,
So-
though, it says it's +1. So it says tools in the handle +1 to survival rolls. Doesn't say.
Oh, specifically survival.
Yeah. So I feel like the
Okay.
tools would be usable to use on the lock, but I don't think they would be like extremely. Like I don't think they would
Yeah.
give added benefits. Like they weren't made for it, but they could probably be used to wiggle things around.
Yeah, you can either do the thievery roll or you can attempt to just strong arm it, but that's going to be a bigger penalty, but you might have a better die for it.
Well, I have
If he's
nothing for
attempting
thievery.
to pick
Okay.
it, E will try to help him by telling him what she did earlier when she picked the lock to the closet that they were in.
Okay, E, you can give me a smart roll.
Oh, sweet.
So she is
It'll be
supporting
at your
me
-1.
with. This is supporting me with. You said it was
With a lock pick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 4.
For -1 or 5 -1?
5 -1.
Okay, so that's a success. So you'll get a +1 on your roll.
Okay, so just a -3.
Oh, your wounds.
Yeah. So that is a -1.
Oh no. Did he break the lock?
He almost broke his hand.
What kind of door is it?
It's just one of those dresser
The
drawers, like
drawer.
a desk drawer.
Oh, it's
but
a
got
drawer.
lock
I
on
thought it was a door.
Drawer.
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 Okay, he's just gonna shoot it.
Desk
Stop
drawer.
making fun of my
No,
list.
I
Don't
just
shoot
no.
it if he sees him trying to
Oh, wait,
shoot
actually,
it.
he has
Please
his-
don't do that 'cause
okay,
he might shoot
Can you
whoever's
try and
inside.
smash it with his cane?
You can give me a fighting roll -2.
Okay.
No, just
Cool.
give me a fighting roll.
Cool. His fighting roll is a D10.
Okay. You just have the -2 from your wounds.
Okay, that is a 4.
A 4 is a success.
So do I have to do
See-
damage or not?
No.
Okay.
You jam your cane at the lock. It looks like it's meant to be kind of new and kind of force people away, but it turns out to be much easier to break than it looks as the padlock pops open and cracks and falls.
Okay, what's
Look
in the
inside.
drawer?
In the drawer, you find 2 more of these hospital gowns. Well, they're kind of shoved in there, and it doesn't take but a quick inspection to see these also have spots of blood, but these are larger, like they'd probably fit someone a little older than the first one did, and there's 2 of them. You also see a cell phone inside of the drawer. It does appear to have charge.
I'll pass it to E.
Okay,
He's gonna unlock it and take a look at it.
give me a hacking roll.
That's a 5.
Then give me an electronics roll as you go through the phone. You're able to crack it open.
It's an 11.
You're going through, it's surprisingly sparse. There's only a couple of apps, and even of those, half of them don't open. Kind of that same just constant buffering forever. And what does open is the text messages. You see there is just one text message chain in there.
When she sees the text messages, she'll just automatically read them out loud to everybody. Like she'll say, hey, there's text on this phone that was in the drawer, and then she'll just start reading them out loud. So this is a message from Bex on this phone. It says Children's IL. I'm kind of wondering with all the hospital gowns if this person they met at the Children's Hospital in Illinois. But it says, never gonna change the pick, LOL. The response says, I'd make time stand still so you could stay, but we have till sunrise. Then they responded again, who's Oblivion? Why did they tell us about it? Then the last message in response says, Penny Island opened the box. Which, I don't know if she got the chance to tell them what Penny Island stood for, but if she didn't, she'll say that Penny Island stands for Pandora Institute.
So Pandora Institute opened the box. Pandora's box.
Some sort of box.
Apparently, whoever's on this phone knows about us.
E will try to call the contact on there that the text messages came from.
Yeah, you go to call. It does not call. Mycroft, what are you doing?
While they were doing all of that, he is going to think about the loose floorboard that Logan used under his bed to hide some stuff, and he's gonna look for that under the bed.
Okay, give me a notice roll.
7.
You get down on the ground, you start to look beneath the bed, and this is all carpeted floor. You don't see anything that indicates the carpet was moved or that it could be picked up or that it was cut through or anything to get to like a hiding space beneath the bed or beneath the floor. What you do notice is that there appears to be the way that the carpet is as you got down to look, it looks like those darker spots is just where the carpet is, the fibers are kind of moved in another direction. So it's as if someone had been standing where they are. You also see some like dirt from outside. So somebody was standing in that area by that. You actually notice multiple footsteps, kind of where your feet were about to be. Like you could see a set of footprints there and throughout, but they were there before you got there.
And this is under the bed or throughout the entire room?
Throughout the room. Give me a common knowledge roll, please, Mycroft.
2.
A memory was kind of starting to get jogged as you were staring at that, but past the headache, which is lessening some, past the headache, it's not quite connecting for you.
Was there any kind of exit from this room?
There's the door.
I mean, is it just going back into the same place?
Yes, and the door is closed at this point. It has closed.
All right, well,
Behind
since it's
you.
a dead end and 13 still wants to leave, it's going to open that door and see if they miss something.
Okay, is anyone else looking at anything in this room still?
Claire wants to look at the dresser, like see if there's anything in the dresser drawers, anything there might have been missed. And also ask what time those text messages were sent, because time standing still seems to maybe actually be a thing.
E's gonna check the time on the phone, which I'm assuming says 6:30.
Yeah, and it says, I thought I made that brighter, but apparently I did not.
The
Put the time on
conversation
there.
says 6:30 a.m.
6:30.
is when it occurred.
May 19th.
But E just meant like the time on the actual phone, like the time like on the lock screen or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Also says 6:30. The dresser. So you go over to the dresser. The drawers are kind of jammed a bit as you try to pull them open. Give me an athletics check.
I'm so good at those.
Yeah, you got this.
Okay, that's a 9.
Not as stuck as you thought, as just another quick jimmying and you yank it open. The drawers don't fight you after that.
Take that.
Inside of the various drawers that you look through, you find more of these disheveled hospital gowns. And they all have these tags sticking up on them. And you can see on these tags, it also says Penny Island, Penny Island, Penny Island. In another drawer, very odd looking, you find this drawer full of various metal objects, thin metal objects, like utensils, like metal rods or something like that. Things that are sturdy, but all of them are bent. They don't look like they were heated, they just look like they were bent somehow. In another drawer, you kind of like are taken aback for a moment as you just pull this drawer open and you see random little items like some rocks and a bracelet and some pens, but all of them are just hovering a few inches off of the bottom of the drawer, just hovering as if something unseen were manipulating them. Actually, give me an occult roll.
4.
Both this drawer and that strange, bent utensils drawer gives you this sense of like somebody did this in an unnatural way. Somebody has the ability, the power that was able to do this. It seems to be making itself known to you.
I think we've got a telekinetic or something like that responsible for some of this. And she'll take out one of the bent utensils and point towards the pens. Someone's doing this probably with their mind. Maybe not right this second, they're not here, but...
So we've got a banshee, floating hands, and a telekinetic?
Possibly. Seems like a lot of different things at work. Could this have been like a training ground for Penny Island?
Anything else y'all are looking at in this room? Then what are you guys doing?
The 13 was opening the door.
You reach for the door.
Which
Grab the
I'm going to
handle.
guess doesn't go back to where we came from.
You reach for the door, you grab the handle, And you will be making your final spirit roll.
We only need 2.
Got a 4.
Right, and I got a 6.
10.
That is above and beyond your dramatic task. As you reach for the door, your head kind of stops. Pain had been slowly dwindling, and you finally feel some relief as it starts to calm. You turn the handle. Give me a notice roll.
Is that everyone or the person turning the handle?
Everyone, please.
4.
Cool.
2.
8.
1.
ESP and 13 are ready to move on, ready to find their way out of here. And E and Mycroft. E, you hear something.
Do
you all
I
start to hear
know?
something. Oh, that's true.
Do
What
I
did you roll, a
ever hear
4?
magic-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she gets a -2 for hearing.
Yeah, forgot about that.
I was gonna say.
Thank you for reminding me. You can have a penny. Do it.
Yeah. Are you sure about that?
You're right, I was not sure. Just kidding. They start plowing ahead. Mycroft, you hear something other than what's about to become a very obnoxious sound. You hear someone's voice. It's soft, young, feminine voice. And you hear her say, "You need to stop that thing, or you're going to die. I can't keep you here anymore. They're gonna find out I'm doing this and I'll get in big trouble. But if I drop it and you're not ready, that thing is gonna kill you." But as she says that, what you all begin to hear and see, the door, you turn the handle, 13, you open the door. The walls around you start to waver, almost like a cloth, like a curtain. This cold that had been following you, that had given you those goosebumps, it dissipates. And the walls steadily start to reform. And as that happens, you hear this kind of crunching sound, like wood splintering against itself. And your skin starts to tingle again. Your heart starts racing. Something abnormal has taken hold of this room. And then it lets it go. The room looks very similar, but the dust is gone. The grime is gone. The bed remains unmade, but with a simple covering instead of all of those things piled on top. The desk is messy, but still intact. But your headache returns with a vengeance as the tail end of a resounding screech fills your ears. Through the open door, down the hallway, you can see a furious face. The skin is stretched, the jaw is misshapen, as the creature's face is widened in a bellow. And past the grotesque appearance, there's a feminine look to the creature. A dark hood has fallen back from her head, revealing matted, clumped locks. Her skin is a decayed gray. Her eyes are milky white, even as they stare directly at you. We are going to re-enter initiative. For order, we're going to draw some cards. The Banshee is staring you down, 13. All right, she has a 6 of spades. 13. Jack, could diamond sound better than a 4 of hearts? Mycroft, with a joker, you're all going to get a Benny. Mycroft, you have a +2 to whatever it is you choose to do.
And we have the matron. Is that what that thing's called?
Oh yeah, because we just entered combat again. So I gotta
Maven.
roll for that, Maven.
Maven, I see.
Claire will accept the 4 of spades versus the ace of spades. And E with the 7 of clubs.
We got 2 community bennies this time.
Mycroft, with your joker, you are on hold. You can go whenever you'd like. You can interrupt without an athletics check. Do you want to go now, or are you going to hold?
Hold.
Next up would be 13, who is staring down a banshee.
He's going to do...
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
First, I need you all to make a fear check.
Oh, no.
As this
no.
horrifying face
What,
is
what was the
peeled
die
back
for
and
fear
staring at
checks?
you.
Is it spirit?
Spirit roll
Okay.
as a free action.
5.
Critical failure is if you roll double ones, right?
Correct. Is that what happened?
I
Thank
still
you.
failed though. And then got a 1 on the d20, which is adrenaline surge.
Mm-hmm.
So I act as if I had the Joker.
Which you
I
do.
already do.
Got a 4.
So I got a 6.
So you've succeeded. I think everyone succeeded. Mycroft didn't, but also got the best option for a fear table he could get. So it was basically like he succeeded.
So it's 13 then?
Uh-huh.
Alright, he's going to do protection on everyone.
Casting?
Yeah. He's going to use one of the community bennies because he got 5 on both, and that's a fail because it's -2. So that's a 5 now. So everyone has 2 points of armor. And then he's going to, I guess, move up here, right in front of it. And the shotgun's ready.
Okay.
And
You move up closer. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Was there something else you were doing?
Well, no, that was going to be the end.
Okay. You move up closer, and you can now see into the living room, which does look almost exactly like the living room as you had seen it before, except not dusty and covered in mold and insects. It's a very clean, very normal-looking room. But you also see across the room, in the corner, you see a man kind of huddled back in the corner. You also see, standing in front of him, there is a woman who is dressed in what appears to be something like nurse's scrubs. And you can also see from your line of sight, there's another woman there, right around the corner, right over there, in your line of sight. The Banshee did not come alone. E, you'd be next.
I don't know if he's allowed to have said that there's other people down there, but if he is able to, then he would say it.
You can chat it out.
Okay. Cool.
You guys have been made aware.
Is this a
E
door
doesn't know.
in the hallway now?
I think that's a window.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a door?
No, it is. The house
door
does not look
we
exactly
can
the
go
same.
through?
Technically, you could.
Okay. Okay. Well, E is going to first turn her volume on her music all the way up so that way her ears are protected from any potential banshee screams.
Mm-hmm.
And then if she goes around, let's see, 1, 2, 3. If she goes here, can she get a shot at the banshee?
What's the distance on your gun?
The range is 12, 24, 48, so you should be good.
So she's going to do that. She's just gonna, she'll take 2 shots. Why not? So she'll use a Benny. 16.
Yes.
Well, 15, I guess.
Yes. You can roll an additional damage die.
9 damage. And then for her second shot, I feel like that wasn't a 6 before, but I know I succeeded. Maybe it was a 6. I don't know. It was either a 5 or a 6. There's a 6 and a 2 in front of me. So I'm just going to take that I made the roll. I'm not going to take any sort of raise because I feel like it was a 5 when I looked at it the first time. I think I knocked it over or something whenever I was typing on my computer. So that's 10 damage on that one.
We're gonna attempt to remove this shake, which would then just put the shake back. So instead of taking a wound, the Banshee is shaken.
That's all she's got.
That makes it her turn. With 13 right in front of her, she rears back. Her mouth is already drawn back while she was mid-scream, and she instead just uses it as an opportunity to bite down. That is... Nope, that's only a 5.
That is not enough.
Her companion over here comes running up to you with this laugh. This laugh on her lips. She pulls out a dagger. That is an 11 to your parry?
Yeah, it hits, but it's not a raise.
Okay, but not a raise. No problem. It's only a 4 to the toughness. Does
Not
that hit your
enough.
toughness at all?
No, my
Dang,
toughness is an
this
8
dagger
right now.
comes digging at you, but you're able to kind of just duck out of the way. But there is another.
Man, we're on that far?
Hmm? Oh no, not her.
Oh, another attack. Oh.
Mm-hmm. As she comes running up as well, she's also going to attempt to strike at you. She doesn't get that. Oh, yay. I'll take it. A 10?
Is a hit without
With
a
a dagger?
raise.
That's a 5 to the toughness.
Not enough.
The other one doesn't come forward. She is just holding a dagger up to the man's neck.
Do
And-
we recognize the man at all?
You do. At this point, as your memories are coming back to you after whatever had happened, this is the father in this household. He had introduced himself as Scott Simmons, the one that ESP had offered tea to, and who 13 had offered stickers to in sympathy. ESP.
Cool. Going to come down through the door, and we're gonna take 2 shots because I'm calculating. Each one's just gonna be at a -1 for the shot.
Before she does that,
Mhm.
Mycroft is going to take his action. He's going to come through and step over here. Can one taunt multiple creatures at the same time? The taunt skill says that you can throw dust in their eyes, or you can say something, you can do whatever you want to try to throw off your enemy. What I have
might
in mind
say-
doing is shooting my gun into the ceiling above them to cause dust and ceiling to fall on top of them.
Taunt can only affect one person without an edge. It says for combat effects, a character can't not without some kind of edge allowing it, such as Rebel Yell from Deadlands. For non-combat effects,
I
it's
see.
really up to the GM to decide on a case-by-case, as noted under tests of will.
I see. So go ahead and make your roll.
That is a
For
9.
sure.
So she is now vulnerable. Actions and attacks against her are made at a +2 until the end of my turn.
I think it's
It's not
target's
very
next
clear.
turn. Okay, you've used our Joker. ESP, what were you doing?
She's going to give him a little bit of side eye. Not really, just a little bit of side eye because she can. And then she will take her shots. 2 shots. One at each of the 2 nurses. Because Mycroft 13 is in front of the Banshee.
Okay.
So we'll go for the nurses. Yes, so we're doing lady in the back first, and that's an 8 on the shooting roll.
Mm-hmm. It succeeds with a raise.
Excellent. 16 damage.
Okay. She is shaken with a wound.
Excellent. Next shot, actually, we're going to go for that for her again. We can shoot twice at the same target. Smart.
Mhm.
And that is a 4 to hit, and that is just 7 damage.
Yeah, we'll give her another wound. She does not like having dust in her eyes and then being shot. She could do
That's my turn.
without. Then we're dealing out. For the baddies' turns, they're getting a queen of clubs. For 13, 13 can do better than a 4. So 13's gonna get instead a 10 of hearts. That works better? I think it works better. Mycroft, still a king with the king of clubs. ESP, found, oh, I forgot to shuffle him, but found the other Joker.
I got the Joker.
ESP, you've got a Joker. You can use that when you please. Everyone gets another Benny.
Then we're going to go ahead and use it now.
Good. You
Just
have a
start to keep
+2.
blasting. +2?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we're gonna keep targeting that, or target the 2 more shots. One, we're gonna start with the nurse in the back again.
Okay.
Just try and get rid of an enemy.
Not a bad idea. You see how quickly you can accumulate wounds if you actually do get hit.
Okay, so a +2 is a 8. Is that a raise or is that just normal?
That is 1 raise.
That is 8 damage.
Fantastic. You shoot her and she drops to the ground just as she was about to say something, and you shoot her dead.
Perfect.
You'll never know what she was
next-
going to say.
That's fine.
She's just gonna come forward 1 step at that, just annoyed, and take her second shot. This
Okay,
time
good.
at the other. That is another 8. That is 14 damage.
And you were shooting at this nurse?
Yes.
She is shaken with a wound.
A little bit of a hair toss. Just satisfied with yourself.
Mycroft.
He will shoot at the same one that Claire shot. That is 7.
That's a success.
7 damage.
Okay, she's taken another wound. Banshee. Sweet, sweet Banshee with a sweet, sweet face card. This figure does not seem to have the same kind of sense as these nurses that you are shooting at, but she does look at you all, and after she had bitten down on 13, she rears her mouth back again, and you hear it, and you remember that shrieking sound, that screech from right before you had woken up in that weird closet. I need everyone to please make me a spirit roll.
Do I get anything since I turned up my music so I can't hear?
It is a hearing. It is a hearing. I'll give you a +2 for that one.
7.
That's the one.
I got 3.
A 3?
Yeah. I've already used a penny to try and fix it and it didn't. I'm still working out of mines too.
5.
And Mycroft?
4.
That's just 13 that failed it.
Mm-hmm.
13, this sound absolutely shatters your mind as it rolls over you, especially being right in front of her. As she shrieks, your eyes basically roll back in your head and you collapse to the ground. You are incapacitated, and I need you to roll a vigor roll for me.
Guess I'll try using my last penny. Do we still have a community one?
We do. Use it.
The death blow.
And that is
Do we
a
have a
3.
community? 3 total?
Yeah.
I need you to roll me a D12.
That's a 1.
I'm sorry, not a D12. I'm sorry, reroll. It's 2D6.
How do we feel about a
Oh,
3? Oh wait, no, it's
3?
6. Wait, am I adding them together or is it just like take?
Adding.
Okay, 6.
A 6. Okay. You are unconscious. You're unsure of. You don't know what's happening around you, but your mind is absolutely rattled. You're going to. Let's see. That is a permanent injury. We're gonna drop your vigor die by 1. Incapacitated. Not dead. I don't like that.
But what does that
Incapacitated.
mean?
So you are going to be dealt in still, because you're going to be making vigor rolls. You're essentially.
That put
If it
me
were a
at
physical
the
wound,
top.
it would be bleeding out.
Wait, so does
You
that
need to
put
be
me at the
stabilized.
top amount for wounds then, as far as, or am I using the negatives under incapacitate, or am I adding them together?
No, I'm not going to add additional wounds because this is a mental thing.
All right, so it's just still -2.
Mm-hmm. So the lady in the corner is chilling. She's quite satisfied, this nurse over here. So she's going to run up to brave hero Mycroft. Actually, first things first, she has to unshake, to which she does. Then she's going to go up to our buddy Mycroft. He is wounded, so she is going to take a penalty, but she is going to attempt to stab at him, which she can't do easily with wounds. So you see her come running at you, giddy and laughing about, you're not going to be able to stop us. Oblivion comes slashing in, but misses wide with her dagger. Now it is the end of their turn.
So it's mine.
Correct.
So what do I have to do?
You need to. It is a vigor roll for stabilizing yourself.
Okay, which just got worse. So that is a 1. Oh, no, mind, it's 2.
That's you?
Yeah.
You remain
So
on the
how long
ground.
can I be incapacitated for?
Um,
Because I assume that this is not like you can just be indefinitely incapacitated.
no. Do you have any more bennies?
No.
That's it? You're not well, friend.
What does
You
that?
are on-
What does it mean?
Not well means death, sir.
Okay, so he's dead.
What do you mean?
Like I
You
just
are
need
not
it. I
breathing.
just need it laid out.
You are not breathing.
Oh, good. I
sir.
still have environmental protection.
My heart
Is his
can't
heart
touch
beating?
myself. The heart is not beating, but he has environmental protection.
Okay.
I feel like if he is
That's
dead,
it.
then their protection probably will go away. I feel like that would probably go away with death.
That would make sense. That would make sense. The last one is E.
Can E still get a shot off on the Banshee at the moment?
You'd have to move. It's true that ESP is probably short enough that you could.
So I just have to move behind her?
Yeah, you could shoot. Just need
Okay.
a little more clear line of sight.
She'll do 2 shots and use double tap on the first shot. I'm gonna use a Benny and re-roll that.
Okay.
Gonna use a Benny and re-roll that. Oh my gosh! Okay, I guess the world just doesn't want me to shoot her the first shot. I rolled a 2 and a 4, and then a 4 and a 1, and then a 4 and a 4.
And you were subtracting because you were doing multiple actions?
Yeah, I had a
Okay.
-1, so they'd all
Got
be
it.
3s. So
Gotcha.
that one doesn't happen.
Okay. Firing wide.
Let's try the second one. I'm gonna use a Benny. Okay, that's a 4. That one will hit.
Okay.
5 damage.
5 does not hit her toughness. Deal out 1 more. 9 of diamonds. We're not dealing out to 13. Mycroft, 8 of clubs. Claire, you can't get lower than a 2. Do you want me to pull it anyway?
You're supposed to draw 2.
Oh, right, in case of a joker. And E, 9 of spades. So the spades would go
After. So it's bad, then E,
it's
then Mycroft,
descending.
then.
I mean, it's ascending. You hear, not from the banshee, but from the woman in the back, as she's holding the knife to the man's throat, and kind of watching all of this with this sick grin on her face. You hear her say, "If you little dogs sit down, no one else has to die." And it's going to be, she's looking at, who can she see? She can just make out Claire over there. That will be her taunt, which is opposed by your spirit, Claire.
4.
Well, it beats hers. So it's not a terribly great taunt, but you hear her say these words that you can consider. She says, "No one else has to die if you run along Oblivion." The Banshee did not get a face card. She can only move forward, and she's going to lash out at you, Mycroft. 4 to your parry.
That's my parry.
It's not good at all. Why don't you roll better? That's a 3 for the toughness, but I don't think hits your toughness.
Nope.
She lashes down, almost taunting herself, but does not look happy about missing. But it would be your turn, E. You can hear what they're saying as far as you can lay down, but you've watched 13 go down.
What happens if we lay down and give up? You just kill us?
Maybe. But even if we did, it would be a lot less gruesome than what she'll do to you.
Who's she?
She nods her head at the Banshee. We can make her stop. But you need to lay down your arms.
E's gonna take 2 shots at the Banshee again. So 6 with her shooting for the first one.
6 is shooting. Is successful.
That's 8 damage.
8's gonna shake her.
23. And that just adds 1 extra damage die though, right?
Yes. But she's shaken, so she's gonna eat that damage.
24.
Okay. Let's see if she can't do something about that. Okay, that's 1 success. So that's still gonna be, she's taken 3 wounds on that one regardless, as you lay into her with your gun. Anything else you're doing?
No, she's just gonna cross her arms.
Mycroft, you've also heard what the nurse said, but he also has other plans.
Mycroft puts a hand over Claire in a gesture of protection, and with his other hand is gonna shoot Banshee.
Take that shake.
That is a 10.
She's gonna get the shaken right back. Okay, I'm sure. Yes, that is a success with a raise.
14.
You sure do blast this Banshee. That was supposed to be very intimidating. She looks like she's ready to rip right back into you or Claire, and the idea of her hitting Claire, absolutely not. And you fight through there's no pacifism here. You blow this Banshee away with your gun. You shoot her down. The nurse next to you sees this. Her eyes go wide, and she holds her hands up. The dagger is still in her hand, but her other hand is like up, as if to surrender. How do you do that? How do you do this? ESP.
ESP is going to just look at 13's body, look at the Banshee's body, and then look at the nurse. And she is going to take a shot. 21. 30.
Yeah, you absolutely annihilate her.
And then running over bodies to get to 13. probably can't do anything for him this round, but her goal is to try and help see if there's anything that can be done for him. And with that, I'm going to let Josh pilot Claire as needed.
So we are technically out of initiative because you see or at least Claire can see in the corner. She can see the nurse who had been taunting just a moment ago, see the dead bodies piling up around, and also has her hands up in surrender. She also looks like she's inching towards the front door, which is along this wall. Like she's making her way in that direction, like she could book it. But she does not look like she's going to fight any further. You guys stand in this pile of bodies on the ground in this hallway. You see the father in the corner there, looking a little bit leery still, but kind of rising up along the wall as the knife is no longer at his throat. You all hear this beep from your comms devices, where you tend to get most of your information.
Did you say we all see that other nurse lady looking like she's getting ready to bolt, or just Claire?
Claire and Mycroft, if you come down the hall, you'll see it. She definitely has the stance of getaway, and the door is right there. But you guys see, you do have your communication device. It's pinging, and you see it says on there, case file 0519-AO-24. Recon. Reports of paranormal activity have increased in various regions across the country. The latest activity is in Carbondale, Illinois. There appears to be a connection between the location of the reports and a chain of hospitals under the ownership of the Youth Protection Network. Each of these pediatric facilities has received monetary assistance from the Pandora Institute. Confirm the activity and complete dry cleaning as necessary. That term you understand to mean remove any evidence, keep it covert, make sure that it does not leave the area. Discretion being advised, being demanded essentially. So you have essentially a hostage here. You have the father here. What do you guys want to do with this?
Mycroft and Claire both have their guns out pointed at her. Mycroft will say, if you will kindly drop your weapon and please step this way, not towards the door.
She glares
Away
at you.
from the gentleman.
Mm-hmm. But she puts the knife down on that. She kind of chucks it over towards the couch, starts walking towards you.
E is gonna go check on 13 and just make sure that there's nothing that can be done.
Give me a healing roll.
8.
At this point, you could probably begin an attempt at resuscitation, but he is not breathing.
That's what she would like to do then.
You can do one more healing roll.
And ESP assist, since that's what she went over there for.
How would she be assisting? Yeah.
Giving advice. Helping her keep the beat.
Even just like helping keep E calm, because clearly this is not E's shtick.
I would allow
Yeah, also saying soothing words.
Well,
Actually,
it's
can
your-
she even hear her?
Oh
And
yeah,
she-
she definitely can't.
she can't even
She
hear.
didn't pause her music and it's still going full
Well,
blast.
Claire is gonna
she
pull
puts
it
a
aside.
she puts a hand on your shoulder.
Does she have persuasion as a skill?
She has persuasion.
Okay, she can roll it.
8.
Success and a raise, that's +2. You can attempt to try and keep them
This was
stable,
great.
but it's looking bad.
It's a 10.
You start the actions of trying to like CPR resuscitate him. If you don't move, you seem to be keeping him alive, but it's still grim. It is
So
grim.
then
You're unsure.
E will yell at ESP to get help in here immediately.
As you two are handling that, Mycroft, you have this woman essentially hostage. As far as what you choose to do with keeping this place under, keeping the dry cleaning side of it. The father is there. What are you going to do about him?
Keeping an eye on her, and he will have her like kneel down in the middle of the room with her hands behind her head And he'll go over to, keeping an eye on her though, he'll go over to the father. I'm so sorry about everything that has occurred. I'm sure this has been a very traumatizing experience for you. Are you injured in any way?
Shakes his head.
Is there any information you could give us that might be helpful?
No. The heck is happening here? What is this? What did you do? What is that thing?
When were you taken captive?
We've been here all of 10 minutes.
I see. Have a seat on the couch.
I'm calling
We'll
the
work
cops.
through this mess.
He starts to get up to go call
Nobody's
the cops.
called the cops yet.
Yeah, right? He hasn't had the ability to. There's been crazy people in his home.
Well, no, I mean, there's 3 people that are standing there. Not one of you guys got your cell phones and called the cops.
Perhaps if you would like to be more useful, you could call an ambulance for our friend here.
Roll persuasion.
17.
Your voice seems to kind of soften him, calm him. His hands are shaking, but he begins to comply, and you feel firm that as you walk him through exactly what you need him to do, and he's just going on about Robbie. He just wants Robbie to be okay. He's just hopes his son is okay. He will listen to you as you have him call an ambulance to cover the dry cleaning side of matters. What you need him to do, he'll do it.
What is the woman doing? Anything?
She is also complying with you.
What does she look like, rather?
There's nothing in particular noticeable about her. Fair skin, dark hair.
Does she look scared? Does she look...
She looks angry. She's being held hostage by her enemy, her enemy organization. But what I will say is, as you take care of the situation, as an ambulance arrives, as your friend, your partner, life hangs in the balance, at least stable for now, but with the supernatural events, you don't know if that's going to last or if it'll stop as soon as the treatments are stopped. You let them do their work. You make sure that the house is handled, and you get another beep on your communications. You see the following message right beneath your case in mission briefing. It says, "Alert! It has come to our attention that your team has been in contact with an Awakened in alliance with Pandora Institute. Contact was made on the following dates: October 31st, 2023, and December 17th, 2023. Your team is compromised. Do not return to Abyss. Complete your reconnaissance and meet at the dead drop. Details enclosed. When the Awakened is eliminated, you can return. Good luck, agents. We hope to see you home soon." Thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. Please also like this video and leave us a comment below. It helps us a ton. We truly appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPGs. And a particularly huge thank you to our players, whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people. David, who plays 13, Catherine, who plays ESP, Kassie, who plays E, and Josh, who plays Minecraft. I'm Brenna, I'm your director for this adventure, and we'll see you back here next time. One more time. Belated Happy Easter, Blessed Pentecost, and safe travels till we meet again.